IVM.
Alright, welcome to a new episode of Waddaplayah.
Waddaplayah.
Yes, the sound effects guy is in the studio this week.
This week or all weeks?
There are so many weeks. You maintain like college attendance for the show.
Oh, 75%.
Yeah, so you try to keep it around
Keep
there.
it around that, yeah, so I don't get blacklisted by Mikhail. And Mikhail is the sore loser who's 100%.
Hey, no, I lost 1 week. No, I removed my tooth that week.
Oh shit. I'll give you all one, you'll tell me whose song this is, okay? You suck. You suck.
I know this, Dudeja.
Anger.
Siddharth Dudeja. But that was a good introduction
to the episode.
To the episode this week. Because it is WWE week. That's right. Which is why we've got a specialist guest. The Parsi Cruiserweight Champion.
Yeah.
Mr. Neville Bharucha.
The Parsi Heavyweight Champion. We'll put a photo in the description.
There are not many Parsis, so I'm all the champions.
He's a tag team champion as well. He tags himself.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, I tag myself a lot. But yeah, anyway.
But yes, Neville Bharucha.
Neville Bharucha is also a great
fan extraordinaire of the WWE.
and a great badminton player.
Phenomenal badminton player.
A few weeks ago we did...
Okay, Monopoly deal player. Let's finish the introduction.
Okay, what else do I know about Neville? Neville, great improv teacher.
Yeah. Okay, Monopoly deal player. Phenomenal badminton player.
CCI enthusiast.
CCI.
And Bombay Gym. Don't
Bombay
forget
Gym.
Bombay Gym as
Cricket
well.
Club of India, Mumbai. Bombay Gym Khana, Mumbai. For
Both,
outside
yeah.
listeners.
And from Bharuch.
And from Bharuch.
I'm not from Bharuch. I'm from Kulaba. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's not lie, Neville Bharucha. but a few weeks ago we did another WWE episode with Abbas, Rahul and
when I
Siddharth
wasn't
Gopinath.
well, yeah.
Fake fans.
Fake fans.
Real fake fans.
You're calling Abbas a fake fan.
Not Abbas, but the other two. I haven't spoken to the other two about wrestling.
You
Abbas,
haven't? Oh, you have.
Are you a WWE shamer? Like, do you
No. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a
Of
wrestling
all.
fan.
So like you watch Pro Japan wrestling and things.
No, I don't understand Japanese very well. So
But
I don't get
Chris
that
Jericho is
excited.
on it, dude.
Chris
He doesn't
Jericho is
speak.
on it.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
He used to
He
be at some point.
Yeah. So, but Japanese wrestling's really cool. And I started getting into Japanese wrestling when I found out they had this thing called King of the Deathmatch.
Okay.
King of the Deathmatch is exactly
Buried
what it
alive.
sounds like.
It's like a buried
You
alive.
die, and that's how you win.
What?
Like, okay, not
So
exactly
the first
die.
person to die wins.
No. No one dies, and if they do die, they don't win. But basically, it's like real, like hardcore wrestling, not like PG-13 hardcore where they take one chair. Here they take like literal barbed wire and bats. And there was one match. I think you remember Mick Foley, Mankind.
Yeah.
So
Mick Foley, Mankind, Cactus Jack.
I think Terry Funk was also in that match. I'm not sure. But they had like this super tournament, like King of the Death match, and they were like, and it didn't build up. Like every match was like a final match where they had to kill themselves.
Ouch.
And I remember at that time they were not getting paid very well. So Mick Foley went to like the drink stand with where even the audience was going, and they were all looking at him. And one guy politely offered to buy him a Coke.
Oh, wow.
Because he had
news.
to wrestle again.
Oh, shit.
And I was very sweet of them. And basically...
It's a good thing this didn't happen in Bombay. You would have got a Jaljeera.
You had to finish the match in 4 minutes. Otherwise, at 4 minutes, the ring would explode. Legitimately explode.
Not collapse.
Not collapse. There were like these...
Explode.
Like these C4 bombs at every side.
What?
So it would be like really loud. Yeah.
Counter-Strike meets WWE.
Why does Japan do everything American better than America?
Yeah. And Japan should know that you're not supposed to plant bombs.
Why do you always go to this
Wow.
place every week?
Okay.
Every week.
Only
why-
last week. It was
why
Is
is
this
my-
going to be the tone of everything?
Bro, every week something happens and he's like, yeah, Hiroshima was bombed, remember? And I'm like, Dudeja, why do you care?
I was really moved.
You were moved.
Yeah.
You
were
who
moved.
also moved the other people in Japan.
No, there was just one.
Thanks
last
for
week.
eating the Japanese market for us, Dudeja.
Yeah, they are clearly watching.
You think
a
I was
lot
talking
of
about Pro Japan Wrestling coincidentally? No. It's a targeted effort.
But I really want. Is this a retirement plan for like WWE fans to go to Japan?
A lot of people...
No,
Like Mick
you
Foley and all are
can't
pretty
go
old
to
now.
Japan when you're old. You have to go when you're young.
Yeah, a
because
lot of
Japan
people get their
is way more
start at...
hardcore.
Yeah, they get their start at Pro Japan and then go to WWE.
Oh, but like Mick Foley and all were like.
No, they went there way before.
Before they were WWE
Yeah.
stars. Oh, that.
Way before. Or in the middle.
WWE is where you go when like your career is on its way down.
Yeah.
What are you saying,
Yeah,
guys?
yeah.
Don't break my childhood like this.
Your childhood was already broken, dude. You're talking about Hiroshima and all that. What a violent person you are.
No, because WWE has a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they will throw money at big names for them to just come, perform once and leave.
Yeah.
That's why the Saudi Arabia shows, we have to discuss the Saudi Arabia shows.
What was it? Champion, King of the Ring. No.
Super Showdown and Crown Jewel.
No, Crown Jewel, where Shane McMahon won the tournament. What tournament
so
was it?
every year, so basically Saudi Arabia
Yeah.
is paying WWE a lot of money.
As part of their Vision 2030
Yeah.
or whatever.
Okay.
So for 10 years, WWE has to go to Saudi Arabia every year, once or twice,
Yeah.
and do a show over
And
there.
female wrestlers have to wrestle.
No, they're not allowed. They're not
No,
allowed.
they're not allowed.
They're not allowed to wrestle there at all.
Yeah.
And there's
Oh, shit.
basically a lot of money. And
But can the guys show their chest and all?
everyone,
Yeah,
everything
it's Saudi
is allowed.
Arabia, dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
guys can do that.
Yeah. So they have a lot of like people who are like special attractions. So because there's so much money being thrown at them, you have
Yeah.
your big stars who come out. So the first
Bro,
year they
this
did
year
it.
wasn't the match at the event, the
In June.
Brothers of Destruction
No, that was
versus
last year. Last November, it was Kane and Undertaker
Oh.
versus Triple H.
Kane and Undertaker
Shawn
versus
Michaels.
Triple
And
H
Shawn Michaels.
Oh my
And
god.
the one guy, so everyone talks about wrestling wrestling retirements not being like true retirement. Like in cricket, when you retire, you retire.
retire, yeah.
You can only at the most play the IPL.
Yeah.
And that for 1 year.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
play more.
Yeah.
But in wrestling, people
clearly
retire
doesn't know
all
who
the time.
Kumar Sangakkara is.
He didn't play the IPL for many years after he retired. He retired and played the IPL for 1 year.
He played the T20 Blast like this year, dude. Or like
Except
last
for the
year.
IPL.
IPL in particular.
But IPL is like one
IPL
tournament.
But you guys don't know Brad Hogg if you're still talking about the IPL.
Brad Hogg is no, he didn't play last year. He played as he was a coach last year, right?
Last year, but he after retiring also
He played till 42,
45 or
42,
something.
45.
What?
And-
44 to 45
yeah,
he
yeah.
played, yeah.
The only reason he didn't play more is because Rajasthan Royals got banned. Otherwise, he would have played for
That's
sure.
true.
Yeah,
He would
but
have definitely played more.
yeah, what about WWE
So,
retirements?
no one keeps their retirement. Very few people keep their retirement.
Okay.
The one person who had kept their retirement and he had the perfect retirement was Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
That last
But he
match
came
was
back
perfect.
after that, no?
He never came back. He would come do like these talking segments and all. He never
You're
came
talking
back
about the
for
last
a
match with The Undertaker.
And then he broke it to come back for the match
Saudi
with The
game.
Undertaker. Yeah.
That must be a very
Because
good money gig.
There was
Yeah.
great money. It was like, just imagine you're getting it from like a stand-up comedian's point of view. Just imagine it's like a corporate show
Yeah.
that you're being flown across the world for
Yeah.
5-star accommodation and you have to perform for like 10 minutes.
10
That's
minutes,
it. Yeah.
and lose.
Yeah,
Did
whatever
they-
it is.
who
We'll
won?
lose or win, whatever.
Triple H and Undertaker won.
Oh,
Shawn Michaels
Shawn
pinned
Michaels.
Kane.
Oh,
So they're very big
Okay.
on.
so Shawn Michaels and Triple H won, no?
Yeah,
what?
but-
You said Undertaker.
So sorry, Shawn Michaels and Triple H
DX
won.
won.
Yeah.
okay.
And now the worst part about this is, Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker did win. The worst part about this is they said, okay, a lot of these people can't fight anymore. Shawn Michaels hasn't been fighting for 8 years.
Yeah.
Undertaker has become a lot slower in the ring.
Yeah.
Though
Yeah.
he was a lot last year. November, he was
Kane
very
is now
slow.
a mayor.
Kane is a mayor, but he's slower, but he can still hold his own. And Triple H is also slower. So the month before or 2 months before when they wrestled in
Yeah.
Australia, it was Triple H versus Undertaker.
Yeah.
And it was a damn slow match because
Okay.
they could move as fast as they could. And then
It was like playing on the Game Boy.
Wow.
The Game Boy was always
No,
slow on
like-
the computer.
it freezes for a little while, and then you're waiting. Then again you have like 2 power
Yeah.
moves, like, wow, and then again you have to wait and all. So it was a
Now-
slow
now
match.
it's the
They must be
switch in-
tired, right?
Yeah. So
now
the-
it's the switch in orchestra, not
Yeah.
music anymore.
So the thing was, Triple H was supposed to carry a chunk of the match.
Okay.
And within the first 3 minutes, Triple H got injured.
Oh,
shit.
shit.
And I think he tore his entire pectoral muscle.
Why does he always get injured in his pecs? Although that makes sense because he has huge pecs.
Yeah.
This part is pecs. Right?
Yes, yeah.
You can't see, but I'm pointing to my chest.
Chest,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he tore his
I didn't know you
entire
could have like pec injuries.
You can
Bro,
have
it's a muscle.
any injuries.
It's a muscle. You can have an injury, obviously.
Oh, Thanks for telling me that. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we don't mean to,
Yeah, because clearly you're pushing the limits.
his gym
no?
workouts, Dudeja's gym workouts are really pushing the limits.
Yeah,
So
limits, yeah.
clearly.
he's gonna.
I post the video, guys. Don't worry, in the description.
Yeah, look at these Hiroshima squats, guys.
Hiroshima squats. But yeah, so then he injured his pec.
So then basically Shawn Michaels had to carry the entire
Oh
match.
my god.
He did a good job.
Yeah.
While
But
balding.
it was just sad. Yeah, and he was bald. So it was like.
I don't want
He's
to
been
see
balding
that.
for
Yeah,
decades now, dude.
Yeah.
I'm astonished at the slow pace of balding.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, right? Like he must be going to the doctor getting some minoxidil.
No.
He went to that Sevak guy, dude, before.
I mean, his after clearly is bald. Yeah, but it's clearly testosterone and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he could still hold his own pretty decently.
Yeah.
But the thing is, compared to all the other people who are past their prime in wrestling, he was still
Yeah.
at number one. But everyone's last memory of Shawn Michaels was that incredible WrestleMania match. So they were
Yeah.
still disappointed.
Yeah.
And they felt like, okay, he kind of shat on his legacy. So they okay, fine.
It's fine, dude. His legacy was worth whatever he got
Yeah,
paid
so,
for that.
but then
Could he even like in a way
Yeah,
squat
yeah.
down when he entered and
he
when
did
used to do all-
everything. He did
Yeah.
everything. He did like a top rope moonsault outside
Oh.
the thing. He did a great job.
Yeah.
But like even he realized like it was a mistake and he shouldn't have sold out for the money.
Yeah.
But it was way too much money to ever like
Say no to I totally get it.
like
man.
no one cares.
Bro,
honestly.
The Rock is the world's biggest Hollywood star, and he sometimes doesn't say no to WWE, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
No, but he's
So who the hell is Shawn bloody Michaels?
no, but he's
Yeah.
like that uncle who comes by.
Who, The Rock?
Yeah, and he'll
The Rock-
say
I
everything in
hated
his
the Rock's.
lap.
I hated the Rock's latest appearance when it premiered on Fox.
Dude, I was like, I
What
love
did he
the
do?
Rock with
What did
Becky.
he do?
I was like, bro, this is so boring, man. Like,
I'm a big fan
I-
of
I-
the Rock and I'm a big fan of Becky. I
the
love
thing
was
is-
it
the
a
thing-
game? Was it
the
a
thing
game?
is, if Rock comes back,
It wasn't a match.
No, so The Rock basically after WrestleMania 28 or 29 when he,
Yeah.
I think 29 was the last time he wrestled against John Cena.
Yes, 29.
He had a bad injury like within like the first 2-3 minutes of the show.
Sure, okay.
And he got a bad injury and he finished the match and all. But because of the injury, he couldn't shoot anymore for a
Oh.
while. So
and he ended up winning that match.
yeah, he
So
lost the match.
He lost again.
The last match he lost.
He won 28 and lost 29.
Yeah, he won 28, lost 29.
Okay, uh-huh.
So because of that, all the everyone refused to insure him after that, saying, if you're
Okay.
going to go wrestle, we're not going to insure these movies.
Yeah.
So he can't take that. So he's like, okay, I'm not going to wrestle. So when WrestleMania
That's
was
my
at-
problem. If I see him in WWE, I want him to come pick fights with, first of all, whoever's from his generation, not Becky Lynch. Becky
Yeah,
Lynch was
these
on his
new
side, but
people.
like
Yeah.
whoever that other guy was.
So the whole point is, it's called giving a rub.
Yeah,
So
you help the new guys.
Old guys help the new guys. And the
Although
old guys...
I
giving
think,
giving
like,
a rub
giving-
sounds very
Yeah.
on the nose.
Well, like, so how do they help them? By
by making
wrestling with
them look
Yeah,
good.
yeah, you're the
Okay.
carrier of my legacy, sort of.
Yeah, not only that, like, so if basically, if like, it's like if The Rock is in the ring and some random guy like Rusev interrupts him,
Okay.
while The Rock does insult him finally,
Yeah.
Rusev has to hold his own.
Okay.
So if he can hold, the logic being like, oh wow, if he can hold his
Yeah, he
own
stood up
against
with The
the
Rock.
Rock, he stood up against the Rock, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
But if he can't stand up to them and he just gets his ass kicked, then it's called a burial.
Okay.
Like he got buried by everyone. So
Since what age have you been watching?
Yeah, this
wrestling,
is some
Neville?
very nuanced like
no,
stuff
I've
that
been
I'm
like
learning.
really into wrestling. Like I'll tell you all the terms.
I have a feeling Neville was that kid who used to have finishing moves on his pillows and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
I
To
mean,
the, and not all size pillows, only the smaller pillows.
and what do you mean by used to? Like he still does.
Do you?
No,
No,
man.
now he has a dog.
Now,
you
dude, I don't do anything to Joey.
I do, I
okay?
know.
Yeah.
But he does get a little vicious. and
and you feel like giving him an F5.
no, I
Bro,
can't.
the F5 is a terrible... Bro, I had a concussion because of the F5, dude.
Even I was
I
about
don't
to
think you
give
know
someone an F5.
what a concussion is.
I don't remember half an hour before the move. I was told I got an F5.
That means you're
In
dumb.
school?
Yeah, in school you were practicing in the 5th standard. We
But
should just wrestle.
wait.
On
Yeah.
the hard floor.
Because it said, please don't try this at home. So you're like, school's a better
No,
place.
now they line. Now they line. They don't have the line. Please don't try this at home. Now
Yeah.
it was. Please don't try this at home or at school or anywhere.
Yeah,
they have the
yeah.
whole disclaimer.
Yeah, because in the
Yeah, see,
small
they didn't
used
have this
to-
for me, that's why.
They're like
Yeah.
Indian kids are gonna watch it. They're gonna
Loopholes.
try and find a loophole. So
Yeah.
we better get to somewhere else.
Yeah. So these things. So then he made him look good.
Yeah, so he sort of made him look good, and Becky Lynch also came. You know who Becky Lynch is?
No.
So basically this
The man, dude.
yeah.
I mean...
Okay, I'm going to tell you.
She's the man.
I'm
Which
gonna tell
is
you-
a great way to uplift women.
Yeah.
Oh, she's the man. That's her name.
That's her like
That's great.
like how The Rock was the phenom.
The great one.
The
The
great
Rock
one.
was not the Phenom. The Rock
No,
was the great one.
Undertaker was the phenom, sorry. The
Yeah.
people's champion, sorry.
Yeah.
So for those of y'all who don't know, Becky and who don't follow WWE today because it sucks, I get why y'all are doing it, but y'all need to know who Becky Lynch is. Becky
And while he
Lynch,
knows, he will still follow it.
yeah, Becky Lynch is the Stone Cold of 2018 and 2019 in the PG era. So basically,
She's the I thought Kevin Owens was the Stone Cold.
No, he
has a stunner and
She's
everything.
like
doesn't
just
matter.
clinking those
So when
orange
it says
juice and shit
the
instead of
Stone
beer.
Cold means like the anti-hero. So
Oh, okay.
it's cool to be bad.
Yeah.
So what Becky Lynch did was last year's SummerSlam, she was fighting against some other woman, I think Carmella, for some women's championship. And Charlotte Flair, Ric Flair's daughter,
Who's the best wrestler?
Yeah, she's phenomenal. She just
Okay.
inserted herself in the match.
Okay.
And Becky was like, "Hey, that's not cool. I mean, this is like typical privilege and
Yeah.
nepotism is not only
That
in
is so
Bollywood."
annoying to watch in a wrestler be politically correct and be like, oh, look at your privilege. Why is the wrestler doing this?
It's a part of a story. It's all
Yeah,
like,
you need to understand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you,
it's an
I am anti Becky Lynch. Whoever is against Becky Lynch, I'm on their side. I don't.
Can I even like? Yeah,
it's supposed to be an escape from life, not
So,
life itself.
So basically, Becky Lynch was like, "Oh, how could you?" And Becky Lynch and Charlotte were friends. And after the match, Becky Lynch sort of put played a finishing move on that other woman. Charlotte pulled her out, pinned the woman, and won the title.
Oh.
So like even though they were friends and all that, so like in the ring they stood, they shook hands and all. Everyone was like sort of clapping, and then Becky looked down. She looked up, and then she slapped Charlotte. And
Oh,
everyone. Like WWE wrote it so that the crowd would go boo boo. How could you slap the good guy? The second she slapped Charlotte, the crowd erupted. Everyone
my
liked
God.
Becky because they felt Becky was like the underdog,
Yeah.
wasn't given up. So they erupted and they were cheering her. Next day, WWE said, "You can't do this, so go out and insult the crowd." She insulted the crowd. The crowd still started cheering her.
Wow.
Yeah, this is doomed to fail.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the crowd kept cheering her every time. And then one
They had to
time,
just accept it at the end.
yeah, they had to accept it. And then finally they were like, okay, you know what, we better sort of do this. And then she beat Charlotte. She was the champion at that
Yeah.
time. And Edge was there. And Edge basically has had a neck surgery.
Okay.
So he can't wrestle anymore. So
Okay.
this was, in
It's a
fact,
result of all the spears.
this was a couple of weeks back when Edge Edge did some stuff and he posted some stuff, and it was 1 year since Becky Lynch used the phrase "the man."
Okay.
So in front of Edge, she's like, "You know what? You can't do anything. So at the most, you can get your wife to do something for you. But till then, the man is here to stay." And so she raised her championship belt. So everyone got damn excited. The first time she said it, and ever since then, she was calling herself the man.
She's the man.
Yeah. Then she at Survivor Series. Basically, Survivor Series is always like Raw versus SmackDown. Raw had Ronda Rousey and all, so it's
Yeah.
champion versus champion.
Who was I enjoyed Ronda Rousey's entry into WWE. It was
Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
iconic,
So
to
it
say the
was
least.
Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch and Raw versus SmackDown.
Okay.
The teams. So it was one episode of Raw, and Ronda Rousey wasn't in the ring. All the Raw women were in the ring, and then it suddenly cut to backstage where Becky Lynch had Ronda Rousey in her finishing move, and everyone was trying to pull her off and all that, and she got off. And then Becky Lynch's music hit, she came out, and everyone's like, "Oh God, Becky, you've got to be stupid." There are like 8 Raw women in the ring.
Yeah.
She stood over there, and then the SmackDown women came from the arena
Yeah.
and beat them up and all that.
Okay.
Now, this was all staged. It was supposed to be really cool.
Yeah.
And in the middle of this, Nia Jax, who is coincidentally
She's someone's cousin, no?
The Rock's cousin.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
The Rock
The
has
Rock's
many
cousin.
cousins in WWE.
Yeah.
Rikishi is his cousin.
Rikishi is Rock's cousin.
Rikishi is Rock's cousin, yeah.
Where did
Yeah.
the genetics
Cousin.
go wrong?
Uncle or cousin?
Cousin or uncle. He's
Yeah.
related to The Rock. Then so was
Yeah.
Umaga.
Rikishi, Umaga, Yokozuna,
And
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns, yeah, the big dog.
Usos, Nia Jax, all they're
Yeah.
something called blood brothers.
Okay.
Blood brothers are...
Like family friends. Like very close.
No,
family
it's like
friends.
you cut your hand and you shake hands and so you're then blood brothers.
Ew.
What?
Yeah.
Is that what they've done?
That's what I think Rock's father or grandfather and one of Rikishi's
Yeah.
ancestors
What
did.
culture is this?
Samoan.
Samoan.
Okay, I have no idea about this.
Yeah, I don't know about the cutting thing, but I know they're blood brothers.
Okay.
So they're
But that's how you
cousins.
become blood
Yeah.
brothers. You mix your
Yeah.
blood.
So Nia
Okay.
Jax is huge. She's like a really big built wrestler.
Yeah.
And she's been notorious for being a little unsafe.
Okay.
So
Yeah, she actually thrashes people.
yeah,
man.
she's injured a couple of people.
I love this.
How is this happening in professional wrestling?
Like she's got a good look. She's different and. Yeah, but that's it. That's all.
But that's
she
really
just injures.
risky.
Yeah, it is risky, and then that's why you have to. They usually dial them back. But Nia Jax is pretty decent. She's honestly very marketable.
Yeah.
She's nice. I like her as a wrestler also, and she's a great.
She
bad
stands
person.
out.
Yeah.
Most importantly.
So she punched Becky. Like
who's
she
tiny?
hurt her-
By the way, Nia Jax is a huge wrestler.
Okay.
So it's called a stiff punch. When it's a worked punch is like a fake punch.
Yeah.
Where it's designed to look bad.
Neville,
look
if
hard.
you don't know, also teaches Wrestling 101 at
101.
Mumbai University.
Yeah.
To children between 5 and 7, yeah.
Yeah. So what's a stiff punch?
A stiff punch is an actual punch where it hurts.
Okay.
So she hit Becky with a stiff punch,
Okay.
and her nose was bleeding, and everything was like. Then Ronda Rousey's music came. Ronda Rousey came, and she started beating up some SmackDown women and all. In that much time, Becky Lynch came with a chair, and she whacked.
Now,
Ronda
all of this is
Rousey.
unscripted, I'm imagining.
This is all scripted.
Oh,
the
the
only
chair is
part that
scripted.
was unscripted was the
stiff punch.
The stiff punch.
I thought everything
And
since that has
because
been...
of that, Becky was bleeding all over, and now WWE has a very strict no blood policy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What
you
happened?
can't bleed because they want to market to children now.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
bleeding, like accidental bleeding is
Swearing
okay,
and all that is not a thing.
but
Wow.
accidental bleeding is okay, but they try and, like, when someone's bleeding, they try and pan the camera, wipe the blood off, and then again continue.
Okay.
So, but Becky Lynch's nose was broken, or like she was fully bleeding.
Yeah.
And she went and took the chair, and in the whole point was to get everyone to boo Becky and to cheer Ronda because Ronda is more marketable, more
Yeah.
money, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Every time Becky hit Ronda with a chair, I think 2 or 3 times, everyone went mad. They started cheering for Ronda. Was like, what the hell? I'm the good guy and all this. And Becky then finally walked up the sort of arena with everyone else. There's blood all over her face. She sort of wipes it with her hands and sort of dusts her hands off and puts her hands out and saying, come get me. I'm the man. You can't do it. You can't touch me.
Wow.
And everyone was going mad.
Yeah.
Now, sadly, this was 2 weeks from Survivor Series.
Okay.
WWE, when she went back, and it was seen that she had a concussion. She couldn't wrestle, and everyone was
Oh
really
my God.
pissed, and she was genuinely upset.
Yeah.
So then she picked Charlotte Flair to sort of face Ronda Rousey,
Yeah.
and she was sitting on the sidelines, and she was like, "This was my moment. I had my moment, and it got taken away from me for no reason."
Yeah.
And she was still champion all through this. Champion. She just missed out that thing. But that was like everyone wanted to see Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
And ever since then, the way they were fighting on
But I've not
Twitter.
heard what has Ronda Rousey's timeline been in the...
1 year.
Yeah. She started with Kurt Angle against Triple H and Stephanie.
Yeah.
And
Then she was just building. Did some grudge feuds, which was like no title.
Yeah.
Then at Money in the
Bank, which was my favorite thing. I
Money in the
still
Bank-
love Edge only because of Money in the Bank.
So
Money
that
in
was
the
last
Bank
year,
was great,
2018. Money in the Bank 2018 was in Chicago. I was there for that.
You've been
You
there
were
for
there
many.
for-
I was there for Money in the Bank.
Haven't you attended a WrestleMania as well?
Yeah, I attended WrestleMania 32.
Have you seen a steel cage match?
One minute.
No.
Why were you so enamored by that match? You asked that so cute. Have you seen a steel cage
I
match?
love steel cage matches.
No,
and
I have not seen
So there
it.
were two, right? Like one was a steel cage
And
match.
one was
where-
Hell in the Cell.
Hell in a Cell. So
Yeah.
one was stuck to the...
Yeah, that's a steel cage.
That's the steel
that you
cage.
can escape from the top.
That you can escape from the
Top.
And the one with some space on the sides is...
Where it's fully enclosed with Hell in a Cell. The
but
one that,
it's got some place on the side.
yeah, it's
so
got
you can
some
walk
space
out.
on the side. You can walk out. Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks had an incredible Hell in the Cell match.
Okay.
But the
couple of weeks
greatest
back.
cage match is the Elimination Chamber. I think we can all agree on that.
Oh yeah.
What do you... Dude, Elimination Chamber is the shit.
Which
It's
one's the,
so
the one you have
weird.
to
the
leave
one,
from
the one
top?
where there are 4 prisons
Four
at
pods.
four
Oh,
pods at the
yeah.
corners, and then each person gets released after some time.
Sometime,
And you have to
yeah.
eliminate each person to win.
Yeah, that was also intense.
Yeah, that was intense.
I'm not a fan
dude.
of Elimination Chamber because you
Bro,
can't
Eric
do
Bischoff
much.
for the win, dude.
You can't do much, man. Speaking of which, he did get fired again by
I
a couple of weeks back.
We have to take a break. When we come back, we'll discuss
I have some
WWE from the
questions
past.
for Neville. Yeah.
We'll discuss WWE
I'll
from the
take
past.
all your questions, children.
Yes.
Don't worry. Raise your hands and I will take all your children.
Right after this break.
Yeah.
Filter coffee is a fascinating beverage. You need to pick the right beans, blend them in the right proportion, roast them to perfection, and slow brew at the right temperature to get the perfect cup. Which is exactly like great conversations as well. You need to track down the most interesting minds, get them into their zone, and settle down for an unhurried, unscripted chat. And coffee for me is always, always, always best enjoyed with friends. I'm Karthik Nagarajan, and do share my table as I meet some of the most interesting people I know and sit them down for a strong cup of coffee and an even stronger conversation. Join me every Wednesday for a freshly brewed episode. This is not frappe. This is the Filter Coffee Podcast.
Alright, welcome back to the second half of Waddaplayah.
Welcome back. Lie, cheat and steal.
Dude,
That's right.
I love that song.
That's a great song.
Earlier this year, my friend who's an auto journalist invited me to Pune to drive a convertible BMW from Pune to Bombay, okay? I just kept playing Lie, Cheat and Steal all the way on the expressway.
Yeah.
And
not Badman.
Huh?
With the mic in my hand, I'm a Batman.
Who's this guy?
Badman. This is a
What
song,
is this Shivaji
John
Park
Cena
wrestling?
song.
John Cena's
basic thugonomics
Yeah.
and that Superman
No,
theme song.
There was this song. I'll play it for you guys if you want.
My time is now, sorry. Not
My
Superman.
time is now.
Badman, John Cena song. You all don't remember?
That was the first one. That was Dr.
They're literally,
Thugonomics.
basic thugonomics, dude.
Okay.
And he came back as that.
Yes,
This
it's
Do you all
Yeah.
remember this song, Bad Man by John Cena? Do you all want me to play it on this podcast for
No,
you
but
guys?
No, it'll be a copyright
Yeah,
issue, I'm
I'm
sure.
sure.
Song
we'll have a
by John
copyright
Cena.
issue.
Okay, yeah, we can't.
Okay.
But it was okay. So it must be a.
No, but speaking of John Cena, he was one half of my favorite feud of all time in WWE, which was John Cena Kurt Angle, if you remember. What is this?
Guys, y'all are just talking about stuff that ended in 2001, 2002.
Yes,
I mean,
because
I was going to
I
go
last
way
watched-
back to like.
I
even
last
before
watched
that.
it in 2009.
What
As-
about
as
like the
series.
current stuff that's going on? What about even like a couple of years back, CM Punk?
See, I love the CM Punk.
Yeah,
CM Punk is an all-time great, even though I never followed his career
Guys,
while it
can
was
you
on
tell
air.
me if Tajiri is still playing?
No.
I used to love that green shit he used to throw on people's face.
So there are two
Dude,
wrestlers now.
that is not even the best thing people should throw on
Two
face.
female
Carlito
wrestlers.
was the best.
who used to spit
I
an
spit in
apple.
the face of people who
Yeah.
don't want to be cool.
Cool. Yeah, I remember that. Carlito.
Mikhail, every
Yeah.
time I meet you, you need to speak with that accent. Every single time.
And I need to have an apple and I need to spit in the faces of people who don't
A
want
lot
to
of
be cool.
these, these two women, Asuka and
Yeah.
Kairi-san,
Yeah.
they're two Japanese wrestlers. They've won the women's tag team championship recently.
Okay.
And Asuka now starts
And they were
spitting-
not affected by Hiroshima, in case you're wondering.
I
Dudeja.
am not asking anything.
No, we have to just clarify this for you now because everything goes to Hiroshima somehow.
And they were...
And Sakinaka. Okay.
They
What? What?
Nothing.
Guys, can I be serious here, please?
Yeah. Let's be
You know this is
serious.
a serious podcast, or Neville?
Where have I come?
So yeah. So then what happened?
So they spit green mist now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I love it, dude. How do they keep
Bro,
it in their mouth
why
through
can't
the
they
show?
have new gimmicks? Why don't they have to keep recycling gimmicks?
But okay, can you teach me the science of how they have that green thing in their mouth and like
They
this?
don't take it on. They don't have it all throughout.
Yeah.
They just...
When
like,
the camera goes somewhere, they put it in
Yeah.
their mouth and then they spit it.
But what about the audience over there? They still cheer.
No, but like...
The
if-
audience is having a great time. Do you think they're concentrating on one person?
even if
doing
they
in the
roll
corner?
out of the ring and sort of do something on the side, no one's going to notice.
But it's very discreet, right?
yeah, it's very discreet. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's not like they go in the center of the ring, stand on the turnbuckle and then put it in their mouth.
I'm sure the audience, live audience also doesn't like...
The
No,
live
like-
audience, first of all, is all rednecks, I feel.
they're like, no,
What are you
I
saying?
get a feeling that WWE fans in the US are just all rednecks. If not rednecks, Republican voters.
a majority of them are that. But
Republican voters, yes.
you know what?
Because in recent years, I've been analyzing the Rock and Stone Cold's career in the 2000s and late 90s.
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's always my favorite phase. And I follow a lot of 90s Attitude Era WWE on Twitter and YouTube now. So, The Rock was a great champion. He was better on the mic than Stone Cold, in my opinion. So,
And with the eyebrow as well.
with the eyebrow, he had the moves. He had the
Rock was
smack
definitely
talk.
more charismatic than Stone Cold.
So why was Stone Cold more popular? It was just that he had the storyline against Vince.
he was the anti-hero that everyone
and he was the
wanted.
relatable. He was like, yeah, I don't have to aspire to be this guy. I'm already this guy.
Yeah.
He was
Which
the one who
was a
got all
very
that...
Republican redneck. I'm a Christian from the South thing to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they're
he was-
very, very American. That's why, you know what? I stopped liking Shawn Michaels a little bit after I found out that he was an avid hunter.
Oh.
But why did you stop liking him for
I
that?
don't know. I'm not a fan of the concept of hunting. And I feel people who hunt aren't educated enough. Because, like, you know why you shouldn't hunt, right? It's not rocket science.
Depends on what it is. Like, I mean, we are meat eaters ourselves, so...
Bro, he was hunting for sport, hunting for game. And because...
trophy
hunting.
Oh,
and they believe that... but here's the thing. It's not like Shawn Michaels can't go to the market and buy chicken.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to go and kill a chicken to eat chicken.
No, but Joe Rogan also hunts, but he hunts to eat. Like, he hunts
yeah.
elk and then he eats that one elk for like 6 to 8 months.
Again, I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan can afford to go to the market.
He can afford, but like his opinions of it are different. His opinions are like, I want to eat a wild animal who has survived in the wild. He has the feeling that he has a better sense of strength and like he's more in tune with his body. If he has to hunt for his food, he values his food more. The food's more lean. Those are his reasons for it.
So that's why I talk about education in America. It goes back to that.
There. But yeah,
it's like he sees a wild elk as free range.
He didn't do ICS. He sounds like an SSC student.
What the fuck do you mean, Neville?
Neville against 2 SSC students. Yeah.
Oh, do you all hunt your food also?
I sometimes hunt.
In school we had to.
I sometimes hunt squirrels. Yes.
I had to hunt for vada pav. Those people would come eat it. But having said that, so I want to know the blood thing. So the whole Ric Flair and Triple H who used to
Ric Flair used to have an inordinate amount of blood.
Blood,
Right?
yeah. I
always
used to think
bleed.
that was always fake. Now that
bleeding is not fake. So if you notice, only senior wrestlers will bleed. Think about it.
Yeah, because the young wrestlers have
It was always
healthy
Shawn
skin.
Michaels. It was always Triple H, Ric Flair,
Yeah.
Stone Cold. All your absolutely seasoned wrestlers because they do it with a
Because they have
term
high
called...
blood pressure.
No, wow, Mikhail.
Mikhail.
Wow. So it's a term called blading, where you keep a tiny blade in your wristband, and
What?
you don't know this.
No, I don't know this.
You take a tiny blade in your wristband, and when you're lying on the ground face down, you sort of just cover it and you just slit your forehead a little bit and you bleed from there. And because it's on the forehead, there's a place where you don't get scarring and you don't go too deep. But sometimes wrestlers do go too deep. Like once Eddie Guerrero in a match against JBL.
Okay.
He went, so if you YouTube this, I think it was a Texas bull rope match or at the just type Eddie Guerrero Great American Bash and you'll see Eddie Guerrero is red from his forehead to his tights. It's actually blading. And blading is banned now in wrestling.
Thank fucking God.
So, which is even worse because bleeding is called getting color.
Okay.
So people used to feel that if you bleed, that means it takes your feud to the next level and it shows a lot more brutality, which is why Shawn Michaels Triple H always used to bleed.
Yeah.
So after Chris Benoit's death, they enforced a lot of wellness policies, like with regards to what drugs you can take, you can't take, steroids are banned, so on and so forth. And
steroids
one
are banned.
Yeah.
Fully banned.
Those bodies are natural.
I mean, like your steroids, as in like the hardcore steroids.
Steroids, okay.
No, but like steroids to get a good body, I think are banned unless you like need it for like medical health purposes.
Basically, now you can if you put the effort, look like Kofi Kingston, say. But there's no way you were ever.
Very rarely.
But there was no way you were going to look like Eddie Guerrero unless you look hardcore.
Who is the guy who used to like kiss his biceps?
Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
Scott Steiner.
Yeah,
Scott Steiner, by the way, has like pectoral degradation and all now.
He has implants. Yeah.
The thing is, he worked his chest to such an extent that now his chest is eroding itself. So there's a giant hole in his muscle.
Wow.
A lot of them, but a lot of the like a lot of people like Kofi Kingston has like a hollow chest.
Yes.
Undertaker has a hollow chest. Ric Flair has a hollow chest.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Ric Flair, by the way, these days has had a great turn of career. He's now this huge hip hop icon and things like that. Do you know this?
Ric Flair?
Yeah, he's got an Adidas shoe deal because a lot of rappers grew up when Ric Flair was the shit.
Okay.
I am the street talking, smooth talking, nature boy, all
that styling, profiling, and all that.
Yeah. So like there are multiple rap songs with the title Ric Flair. He features in one trap song where he's just like killing it with the rappers.
Good.
He has an Adidas shoe deal, which I'm waiting for when that shoe is going to drop because I feel like those are going to be some lit shoes.
But Ric Flair is honestly also riding on Charlotte Flair. By the way, Hulk Hogan's also back.
Hulk Hogan is still there.
He's back even after the racism scandal.
The racism scandal, I don't know, but like that doesn't even matter
Guys,
to
this
me.
is going to be a really long podcast.
Oh, wow.
So if I educate you all.
We need to get...
You're going to say Hulk Hogan was racist. It's not even slightly surprising.
No.
It's not even slightly surprising.
In 10 seconds, I'll tell you. Hulk Hogan was caught on tape making racist comments about his daughter's boyfriend, and those tapes were released. They were illegally procured and illegally released.
Yeah.
So even when they were released, hearing Hulk Hogan talk like that, WWE sort of banned him like immediately, 2016 onwards. They said absolutely not. He's out of he's not going to come back ever and all that. Then he came, apologized to people. Some of the superstars felt like, okay, the apology was genuine. Some people said no. So it's very divided when he comes back. And even now, he came back and they got him back last year during Saudi Arabia, which is perfect because they don't care.
They don't care about
but
racism.
Hulk Hogan's fans, like the people who were fans of Hulk Hogan growing up, are now what, like 45, 50?
Yeah, he was 66 years old.
He was
But
big
like,
in the
people
90s.
People who are 45, 50 are not watching this sport anymore.
I mean,
You will be shocked. So I'll tell you what, when I went to wrestling, I went to WrestleMania. A lot of these people are people in their 30s, 40s who are there. Not just the nostalgic viewers, like your hardcore wrestling viewers. And
who cheer for the heel and shit like that.
I know they cheer for the... they
That's
do
a
this
fact,
for
right? Like
entertainment.
the older you are, like if you're an old male consuming
you
pro
would
wrestling,
cheer for the
you
bad
tend
guy.
to cheer for the heel.
You tend to cheer for the heel is what?
The
bad
heel
guy.
is the bad guy.
Okay.
So like I don't support this John Cena and all anymore. Whoever's against John Cena is my favorite.
Oh, and that's
I like
cool.
John Cena because he's a good wrestler.
I'm bored of the same thing. Like this week I went 5 Make-A-Wishes. I just granted them.
I like my favorite wrestler is Brock
elbow grease
Lesnar.
guys.
I
Just put it
hate
hard.
Brock Lesnar.
Why do you hate Brock Lesnar?
I hate and love Brock Lesnar, bro.
I hate
love-
Brock Lesnar because he just comes, shows up, gets a lot of money, and he doesn't put in the hard work that the rest of the
You're making a
superstars do.
great case for you
Anymore.
to get a permanent visa in Suplex City right now, by the way.
What's
From you?
From like whoever, I don't care.
What's Suplex City?
It's where Brock Lesnar takes you if you talk too much.
Dudeja, have you come to do like a WWE podcast in 2001?
Yeah,
I think you have.
But wait,
It's
I
fine,
used
we
to
can talk
love-
about the Dudley boys.
The Dudley boys, dude. Devon and Bubba.
I was watching-
I have a question again. I'm sorry, but like, so hitting them with chairs and like on the table and like doing a top rope. How is that not hurting them?
That's because that
Of
can
course
be
it
controlled.
hurts. Of course it hurts them.
Yeah, it hurts. So everyone says, oh, WWE is fake. It's not fake. It's predetermined.
Yeah.
It still hurts. Like if you're like, there are ways to lessen the impact of a 100-kilo guy jumping on you from a height.
Yeah.
There are ways to lessen the impact.
Yeah.
You can't eliminate the impact altogether.
Exactly. Like, and even like hitting them with like a chair on their face.
Their back. They don't do it on the face and the head anymore.
Yeah.
Head is a strict no-no anymore.
But they used
But
to
that used to
earlier,
be so
right?
entertaining, man.
Yeah,
My
it
God.
was.
Yeah.
Like the sound of that thwack.
Oh yeah.
I remember they used to like they used to hit it and it used
So
to freeze.
I imagine
and then suddenly he's sitting on the floor like all in pain.
If chairs are out of the game, I'm sure sledgehammers are too.
Sledgehammers are, but
That I never, as a kid also, I was like, bro, how are you surviving
Surviving
this, man?
this.
but
dude,
they
yeah.
don't like they hit it where they hold the
they cover it with
stick
their
and they
hand.
cover with their hand and they sort of jam it in their head so you can tell like but it's like like they don't hit with title belts anymore.
Okay.
Speaking of title belts, the latest, like the Champions League of Darts just got over, and do you want to guess what the trophy was?
A title belt.
Yes, which
Not hard
this
to
is
guess.
the first time this sport has taken their love for wrestling too far, because in darts, if you don't know, Neville, players enter the arena on a walk-on song. So like,
Are you serious?
yeah, theme music plays. They walk through the crowd
For darts.
For darts,
One second. You mean crowd as in if people watch this?
Yeah.
10,000, 20,000 people is an average night at darts, and everyone's drunk. So like, it's a boisterous crowd. It's a boisterous AF crowd.
Yeah.
It's
Because
all Brexit voters.
You could say so.
Yeah.
You could say so.
So 1 second. So darts is like WWE.
It's
But-
not like WWE. It's so now when I say darts, Neville, you obviously have this very like, oh yeah, these are old pot-bellied men and they're just playing, mustached men playing in a bar somewhere. You have this very like, it's such a boring, slow, lazy sport, right?
Unless they're aiming like you have to throw the darts in your left hand at the board and the right hand at your opponent,
See,
then
first of
I
all,
don't watch it.
Opponent.
That'll be great, man.
See,
I mean, you have to run away from the darts and hit the board at the same
You
time.
watch too much
Yeah,
WWE.
see, so you already have this image, right, that it's not a sport worth considering. So, like about 13 years ago, when they wanted to like expand the sport, they had to be like, okay, we need to up production, we need to create profiles for. So every dart player has a nickname. every dart. So there's the Machine, there's Iceman, there's Barney, there's
Is there the
Jackpot.
Rock? Is there the Undertaker?
No, there's no Rock, Undertaker.
Is there the
and all.
game?
No, there's no game.
Yeah.
But a game will come soon enough. So they have a walk-on song. They have nicknames. They don't have feuds or anything
Are
like
there
that.
Commentators?
Yeah, there are commentators. Of course, there are
But
commentators.
are there
There's no straight
commentators
man
like-
and colored man. No.
There's no wow.
There's no hype man commentator.
There's no Taz.
Yeah.
Was Taz the
There's
commentator?
no JR and
JR and the King.
Yeah, no. But this time they had a title belt, which I thought this is the first time this is not sitting well with the sport, because a belt looks good around a waist, and a waist that a belt looks good around tends to be a slim waist.
Yeah.
Which is not present in darts.
Darts, yeah.
So it didn't have a good look, because he also like there's a certain flair that you handle a belt with,
But
right?
you can carry the belt on your shoulder, right?
Yeah, but there's a certain flair with it. You need to know that, it has to be on your shoulder, you raise it up with one hand, something like that. But this guy's so uncomfortable with the belt, so he's just like holding it up like a trophy, like a banner.
Nice. Like
you know how when you go for Liverpool games, you hold that scarf up?
Yeah.
He's holding it like that.
But so a rule about WWE champions is when you're roaming around, even when you're not at a wrestling show, you have to roam around with your belt.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think they have to roam around at all times with their
So
belt.
like if a person gets married during while being World Heavyweight Championship, they have to have the belt on them.
So you obviously don't know the last 24/7 championship storyline.
What would you saying this someone to get married with a championship belt?
1 minute, I'm going to tell you the story. Okay. Put the timer on 1 minute.
We have a timer.
We have a
And
timer.
let's go. Okay. So, a couple of months back, ratings weren't going very well. So, the USA Network said, we want something called a 24/7 championship, because how the hardcore title was defended 24/7, that was fun. So, we want 24/7 championship. So, they said, okay, Mick Foley unveiled it. Ugly belt. It looks like a green watch, like a big green watch.
Yeah.
So then it started becoming like boring. But now there were these two guys who keep trading it constantly. One guy's name is Drake Maverick, a short, tiny guy.
Yeah.
Me, for example. And this guy called R-Truth. You remember R-Truth? He was there years ago.
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Like a rapper. He's about 45,
40
50.
seconds done, by the way.
45, 50. Oh my god. So then basically Drake Maverick was talking about how he lost his 24/7 championship during his wedding, and he hasn't been able to consummate his marriage because of that. That's a legitimate storyline, and he keeps running around and he tells his wife, who's not even a wrestler, is now featured in the angle saying like, oh, okay, what happened? And like the one night he was in his room and like he was roaming around, he won the belt, he came in and all, and he put off the lights and suddenly said, what's happening? And then the lights came on and R-Truth was on top of him in the bed.
Oh
then
my
there's a
God.
referee counting 1, 2, 3, and it's really funny.
Wow. That's a great story.
That is, right?
I'm actually
Given
feeling
that WWE is PG now, I don't think they're ever going to top their previous storylines. It's just not going to be a thing.
I mean, let's see.
Yeah.
Let's hope for.
It is
This is
going-
a good story, though. I
It's
like
going
this one.
well, and there's some people some wrestlers who are coming back, who are performing phenomenally. Trish Stratus came back at SummerSlam.
Yeah, she came back.
She
Yeah.
was incredible. It's like she never left.
But like these are limited one-offs. These are not going to be people who carry the storyline for years.
Yeah, these guys are like pretty old.
like
also,
Kurt Angle came back as CEO, which was fun for a
and
bit.
did you see him wrestle?
I didn't watch him wrestle, no.
It was a little sad.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can
Yeah.
see, I have clearly seen him age in a suit, man. So if he's going to be in wrestling gear, it's going to look sad.
He was not wrestling. He wasn't as fast as he used to be. And Kurt Angle was phenomenal.
Yeah, he's an Olympian, right?
Yeah.
He was the best wrestler on mat.
Correct.
By far.
And you can have people like the Undertaker carrying it because he was not a wrestler.
Yeah, he was an image.
Yeah, he was a grappler.
Yeah. But
The time the lights used to go off and he used to come, like I still get
Since
scared.
you mentioned the thwack from the steel chair, watch top 10 Kurt Angle moves on the YouTube channel of WWE, okay? The first move, with his bare hands, he creates the sound of a steel chair. It is...
How?
How?
I don't know, dude. The person is on the turnbuckle, like he sat on the top turnbuckle, and he's clearly like failed at jumping off the top turnbuckle or something, so he's now like sitting on it. Kurt Angle comes from somewhere and he just smacks the shit out of that guy. He falls outside the ring onto the floor, dude.
Wow.
Outside the ring.
I'm surprised no one's broken their neck yet, like live.
Edge,
Oh yeah,
Kurt Angle.
so many people have broken
And
their
they
neck.
they were taken immediately. Oh yeah, I remember
Stone
Kurt
Cold?
Angle.
Stone Cold broke
I
his
remember
neck.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah. All of them have had really bad neck issues.
Yeah.
Everyone's broken everything, dude. Knee
Yeah.
has been broken, shoulder,
Face,
wrist. Yeah.
everything.
Oh, I remember them crying almost when like.
Bro, Vince McMahon once tore his quads while entering the ring.
Both, not even one.
Yeah, both.
What? I want to see this video.
He was in a suit and he was coming to the ring to discipline someone or something.
No, you know how this happened? It was the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
It was John Cena and Batista at the end. And Batista was supposed to throw John Cena out.
Yeah.
He picked up John Cena
and both of them
lost his balance. So he fell out of the ring. And both of them fell, and both of them actually, their legs hit the mat at the same time. So they were like, okay, what do we do?
Who's eliminated? We don't know. There was drama
in
about
the
this.
gorilla position. Gorilla position is the just at the just backstage, just at the entrance, where you have Vince and Triple H and everyone calling the shots and all. So
Triple H was also calling the shots.
Triple H calls the shots
now, okay.
Vince threw his headphones down and ran out yelling like a Vince McMahon.
Like he did the power walk, everything. And he came back really angry.
He wasn't like chilling. Like how could he do it? He slid into the ring.
He slid under the bottom rope into the ring in a full suit. Okay?
Yeah, to say restart. And as he slid into it, his legs hit the apron. And I don't know how it happened.
Both quads tore, okay?
He tore both his quads so he couldn't stand up.
Yeah, so now he's sitting on the floor and he's trying to discipline people.
He's yelling at people, saying, restart the match.
And everyone's like, why isn't he standing right now? What is wrong with this guy?
Wow. Is this on video?
Yeah. Bro, the greatest gaffes of all time on YouTube. Once Randy Orton asked the other wrestler in the ring, what's my line?
Oh shit.
Like
that's crazy.
They're having this verbal match and
they're called botches.
Yeah.
Botches.
So and like they're cutting a promo and in the middle Randy Orton forgets, okay, and he keeps staring at him. I was like, oh what a death stare. And then he puts the mic away and he's like, what's my line? And he tells him what's it. So then he turns around and he turns back and then delivers the line. There was another, Roman Reigns was up on the mic, if you remember, while cutting a promo with John Cena. And John Cena delivered the greatest line of all time. He was like, it's called the promo with the big dog, and if you want to be the big dog, you're going to have to cut it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And the promo, like John Cena's great at promos.
He's great on the mic. CM Punk had the greatest, it was a semi-meltdown, but he was spitting hard truth, man.
Yeah. You gotta see the pipe. Okay, after this, we're gonna create a WhatsApp group.
The last
with
story,
all our viewers.
The last story for this episode, CM Punk, Neville, go.
Okay, give me 60 seconds on the clock. I'm going to overshoot it for sure.
Okay, fine. There we go.
CM Punk, great wrestler. He was in the Indies.
Straight edge.
And they believe that in the Indies, if you do well in the Indies, you can't do well in WWE. Came to WWE. He did well. He kept getting his legs cut from underneath him. And he was also a bit of an idiot. Like, he kept saying, like, the Undertaker once told him, as a champion, you have to travel in a suit. He's like, John Cena doesn't travel in a suit. So, like, okay, we need to teach this little punk a lesson.
Wow.
Undertaker beat him the next pay-per-view. Undertaker beat him and took the title. Then there was he was set to...
I mean, that was scripted.
Yeah, that was scripted. Okay. He was set to quit wrestling. He didn't like it. And his contract hadn't expired. And then they had an angle called the Sum, where he said, I'm going to win the championship and leave. And he aired his grievances on stage. Like it was called the Pipe Bomb.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
What did he say?
He talked smack about Vince McMahon, about Triple H,
Hulk Hogan, Rock, everyone.
He claimed allegiance to Paul Heyman.
Yeah. He said, and he referenced some old guy who was fired by WWE. He was phenomenal.
Wow. That was like allowed by everyone. Like everyone allowed him.
Vince McMahon is a billionaire who could have been a multi-billionaire.
No, he's a millionaire who should have been a billionaire.
Yeah.
And the only reason he's not is because he surrounds himself with idiots and all that. And he was literally speaking the truth. And after that, it became like a huge deal.
I was surprised. Like when I looked up, Vince McMahon is worth 3 or 4 billion today.
Wow.
He's been a figure in our lives since we were born.
Yeah.
How is he worth 3 billion? He's as rich as Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is a failed businessman.
Yeah.
He's because they've got WWE's just Vince McMahon is a marketing
too much
genius.
Protein.
So yeah,
he will forever be the greatest character in a wrestling story.
Yeah, he's I remember if he ever comes out with a book, I'll be the first one to buy it and read it.
But there'll be all lies in that book for sure. It's not going to be all true.
Yeah, but he's the sort of guy. He's pissed off so many people. He's burned so many bridges, reconstructed them, and he's literally built himself up from scratch.
That's true.
So yeah, and so CM Punk and they had a fallout. CM Punk left, and he said, "I'm never going to come back ever again." He just didn't show up to work and all.
But like, I'm serious. If you've not followed the storyline of CM Punk, look it up. There's a lot of shit. He had an angle with The Rock where he didn't want to give up the title, but he gave it up. And he once shat his pants in the ring.
Yeah, and
he once shat his pants in the ring.
Yeah.
He ate something bad and he shat his pants in the ring.
And then he tweeted about it saying like, lol, I just shat my pants, check it out on Raw tonight. And then WWE told him take it down. He's like, bro, I shat my pants. Why the do you care?
Yeah, no, he literally went under the ring, shat and came back up.
What are you saying?
I think so, yeah. No, not like, he didn't like take a leisurely dump. He like went under, pulled his trunks, shat a little, pulled it up, went back. Wrestled again.
That's really professional.
That's very professional. Like, would you do that at like if you're performing a gig?
Not at all. I'd be like, I'm going home now.
Like, would you like in the middle of your set just sort of turn to the side, go shit? The thing is, we don't perform at so many clubs, so like the audience would see you shitting.
Yeah.
But on that note, we've run out of time. It was a great episode nonetheless. Though. Thank you so much, Neville.
Thank you so much.
We should once have a WWE fight between the greats that are Abbas and Neville.
Abbas versus Neville.
I will kill Abbas. Like,
I wouldn't be as cocky, man. Like, I know we're all fans of WWE, but like,
I would kill
the time
Abbas.
for smack talk with Abbas,
Abbas's
is a long
finishing
time away.
move is that of Rikishi's. So
Abbas is like Viscera. You remember Viscera?
Yeah,
I've heard.
And you know who I am? I'm that manager who always gets beaten up.
You're Tajiri, dude.
Tajiri, dude. Green shit's coming. But yeah, follow.
Oh, you're the Great Khali's manager.
Great Khali. Yeah, well, that's for the next
Great
episode.
Khali, once he did Big Boss, I don't know where he is.
Yeah.
But on that note, great episode with Neville. Please follow Neville Bharucha on his Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
What are your handles, Neville?
I'm Neville19 on Instagram. Follow me there because I don't tweet very often. Just follow me on Instagram.
Yeah. Which is Neville19.
Neville19, 19.
Okay, and Siddharth Dudeja
at Siddharth Dudeja on Instagram, at Sid Dudeja on Twitter.
And the conglomerate that is Mikhail Almeida on all platforms. That's right. No different handles. At IVM Podcast on all social media. We will see you next week. And until then, we hope you have a good time and a good life. And watch CM Punk.
This is the amazing story of something awesome. Once, Chuck decided to start a podcast. And so he did. The end. Okay, that was a crappy story. But I've got some really cool stories over at my new show, The Origin of Things. On this podcast, I look at the stories of how brands came into being and sometimes evolved out of quite unexpected circumstances. And to make it really fun, I reveal the name of the brand and sometimes a category only at the very end. The show is 5 to 7 minutes per episode and perfect for trivia junkies and brand nerds, especially those with short attention spans. New episodes out every Wednesday on IVM Podcast app or website or any podcast app or site that you happen to prefer. End of story, they lived happily ever after.
Hi, my name is Anupam Gupta. I'm B50 on Twitter. I am the host of Paisa Vaisa, the show that talks money. On my show, I speak to experts from every field of money and finance, from stock markets, equities, debt funds, credit cards, life insurance, every possible area of money and finance that you can think of. We even did an episode on cryptocurrency. I've got fantastic guests from mutual funds to personal finance experts everywhere. Robo-advisory, startups, just name it, we've got it. At Paisa Vaisa, we help you make smart decisions about money. You work hard for money. Now make your money work hard for you. New episodes out every Monday, and you can listen to my show on the IVM Podcast app or any other podcasting app that you have.